Implementation and Institutionalization of Technology in ESL Instruction and Programs. This is by Allison, Lisa, and Nancy. Implementation and Institutionalization of Technology Theories. The breakdown of implementation is carrying out or practicing of plan, a method or a design, idea, model, or specification. As for implementation in a field, it is defined as the actual use of an innovation in practice. Another definition of implementation is delivered or conduct the training. Institutionalization is the next step after implementation has been achieved. The purpose of institutionalization is to give the innovation technology a kind of a credibility and to allow it to actually continue to grow and be spread to a larger spectrum of people of organizations. Our case study focuses on a small school setting in Texas, and it ranges from grades kindergarten to 11th grade. Within this school, they have a population of approximately 195 students, which is about 25 to 30% of them being considered ESL. The school area is categorized as State Region 4 or Region 4. The purpose of this case study is to be able to apply implementation and institutionalization to an ESL program within a school, to examine those obstacles and also to provide alternative solutions. What is an ESL program? An ESL program is basically English as a second language, and as an instructional program for students whose dominant language is not English. In other words, English is their second language. ESL is also known as, it just currently changed to ELL, as English Language Learners, but they still refer back and forth as ESL and ELL. English L classes consist of grammar, writing, speaking, reading, and writing in the English frame. Students of ESL are anyone whose native language is a language other than English. Okay. Implementation of technology in the school. At my local school, the ESL students use Zondel as a program that helps the English language learners to practice their English skills. In other words, they get to choose a topic. They have the option to pick a game, any type of game that they find interesting. And 3, they play and they learn English. They connect their language, which is, for instance, Spanish. They connect it with English, where they get to pick if their main language or their regular language is Chinese, then what they can do is they can switch it over, or they can match it up into English. I think this is very important. This also goes back to making the lesson fun and interesting. And in a school setting, it's very important to make it interesting because students tend to learn and they pick up more and grasp. Here is a video of how Zondel works. Implementation of technology in the school. One of our things that we use at our school is Google Translate. Parents come in around 6:30 because class starts at 6:30, and from 6:30 to 6:45, parents have that time to Google any words, like say for example Spanish. They can put in what, and in English or in Spanish, they would type in que if that's their native language, and then what they would do is in English, it would be able to translate it as what. So this kind of gives them an idea to play. They can put in the months, they can put in days of the week. This is kind of a way to access another language, but using their language, and they're able to learn new words in English. Here's another form of implementation of technology in the school. IXL. IXL is a great, this is kind of a program that's based around the Texas curriculum. It offers from pre-K all the way up to, I believe, 11th grade or 10th grade. And this is a great way that we use to implement English language learners because, first of all, they have to hear the words in order to learn another language. So they'll be able to hear by clicking the little sound effect in order to hear what the teacher is possibly trying to teach. As far as, let's say, for example, they're talking about subtraction. They can read the subtraction problem, and they can also read the answer choices for them. And this kind of helps accommodate those who have English as a second language. Here's an actual video on IXL. Problems with implementation in a case study in ESL program. Also known as ESL is also known as ELL, which is English language learners. A limited teacher and student technology competency, student motivation of English learners. Some students who might not have that, English might be a bit of a challenge and they might not be as motivated, and as educators we must be able to meet the needs and motivate students. Lacking of funding or finances for school facilities. There might be an issue where money could be an issue at the school. Lack of resources for home computer access. There might be some kids that might not have access to a computer, or might have access to a computer but might not have access to the internet. Solution. Develop and deliver effective ongoing teacher training using teacher learning communities. Locate and explore free and low-cost programs. Involve and train parents on programs. It's very important to find a solution for the implementation and try to accommodate those who don't. And for example, at my school, we have where parents learn as ESL classes, as English as a second language. We want to be able to reach all those parents to help them, because in order to help those parents, in order to help the students, we have to help the parents, because the parents are supposed to be our team and supposed to work together in order to help those students. So it's important to find a solution, and it's going above and beyond as an educator. Our conclusion, implementation and institutionalization are critical stages in the success of introducing and maintaining innovative technologies. In the school program, where resources are limited due to low, maybe socioeconomic status of the community and student population, extra efforts from the teacher and administration part need to be made to ensure that teachers are trained and supported, students are motivated and have access to technology, even beyond the classroom. Connections are made with parents to support the efforts of learning outside the classroom. These barriers to implementation must be addressed, or the innovation will never progress to institutionalization and become successful. Here are the references that our group used. And thank you for watching our video on implementation and institutionalization.